Some people believe that our lives are predetermined. They call this fate. Others believe in free will, claiming that we make our own choices and create our own lives. But what happens when a woman dies and finds herself between death and her next life? Asami Kondo is a 33-year-old woman who works a government job in a small town. Her routine is pretty predictive. When she finishes work, she usually hangs out with her friends. Unfortunately, her life comes to an end when she is hit by a truck. Her soul is transferred to a world where she is neither dead nor alive. Asami meets a man and gives him her name. The man checks a large book and then instructs her to walk toward a white door. After passing this door, she will be reincarnated to her new life. Asami starts walking toward the door, but she goes back to the man to ask him if he knows what her next life is going to be. The man grabs the book again and informs her that she is going to live as an animal in her next life. More specifically, she is going to be a giant anteater. The man even shows her a picture of what she is going to become. Well, Asami does not like that and asks the man why. The man explains to her that the souls do not take a standard path. Most likely, Asami has failed to collect enough good deeds, and that is why she is going to live her next life as an animal. Asami recalls an incident from her work environment where she was unable to help a man who was pleading with her. Thankfully, there is another door which Asami can enter. This door will take her to relive the life she has already lived. Everything will happen from the beginning and almost in the same sequence. She will be reborn in the same place, under the same parents, and have the same sister later on in life. But this time Asami can collect more good deeds and increase her possibilities of reincarnating as a human again in her next life. Indeed, Asami walks through that white door and she is born as a baby again. The difference this time is that she has full consciousness. She remembers everything and her mind works like the mind of an adult. Asami starts her second round in life strong. She collects trash from the road. She plays the bad guys in the games with her friends at kindergarten because all the other girls want to be the main heroes, and she even restrains from cutting beautiful flowers. While her life unfolds, she sees the father of her friend Sher coming to take his daughter, but as he takes her, the father also spends some time with their female teacher. In the eyes of a kid, this would seem totally innocent, but Asami only has the body of a kid while her mental capabilities are way more advanced. She understands that the man is flirting with the teacher, but that's not right because he is married. Asami decides to take action and she goes to play with the teacher in order to interrupt her interaction with the man. Later, Asami enters the teacher's office and copies the man's number, which he gave to the teacher earlier. Back home, Asami recalls a conversation she had with her adult friends when she was alive for the first time. There is a way to use the phone to send a message to somebody else. That night, she gets up and intends to send a message to the man by using the phone in her house. But when she thinks about it, she stops because the sender can be tracked. Her father almost catches her in the act, but Asami says that she was in the bathroom. When everyone is asleep again, young Asami escapes from the house and walks to a payphone to send her message. However, she realizes that she needs money to use the payphone. She recalls another conversation she had during her previous life, this time with her sister, who told her of a place where their father hides some money. Young Asami goes back home. She finds the money, and then she goes back to the payphone. This time she is able to send her message, writing the man that if he cheats on his wife, she will let everyone know. A policeman sees her when she walks outside the phone booth, but young Asami is able to evade him and return to the bed like nothing ever happened. The next day at the kindergarten, the father comes to pick up Sher with a different attitude. He is in a huge rush to take his daughter and just get out of there. Mission accomplished for Asami. While Asami grows up, she joins elementary school and she has much better grades as compared to her peers. She gradually makes some friends, including two girls named Gon and Maipon. At school, she sees two other kids, Fuku and Rina, and she mentions that the two of them will get married in the future. Sadly, they will also get a divorce. Asami also describes some of the games and hobbies she used to do as a kid. A popular activity back then was collecting stickers. Another popular game was a card where the kids wrote some funny information, such as the name of the boy they liked. If the boy had also written her name on his own card, then it was allegedly meant for them to be together. Soon, Asami joined high school and hit puberty. One thing she vividly states is that this time around she hates her father. Not in a sense of wanting to kill him, but she finds him very annoying. In class, a teacher they call Mita takes a note that's been exchanging hands between the students. He scolds them for interrupting class, but Asami defends the students by saying that the teacher is interrupting the class as well right now by making a big fuss about it. But Asami also narrates that this teacher is actually cool and he tries to help the students instead of just being mean to them. The next day, Teacher Mita sees a Game Boy device under Asami's desk and he confiscates it. During the break, Asami narrates that she was attracted to a couple of boys when she was a teen in her previous life, but this time the mental gap is too great. There is no way she can like clueless young men with the mental capacity of a bean. Another kind of custom the girls have as teens is to pretend they are interviewing each other when they date a boy. A few years later, Asami attends university, but this time around she decides to take a different path and studies medicine. Asami also sees Tanabe, a boy she dated in her previous lifetime. Even though she liked him, the young man got addicted to gambling and he even started asking her for money. Asami is not interested in any of that. Soon, Asami and her friends graduate and they go to a karaoke place to celebrate. Fuku and Rina are there with her. They are a couple, but they are not married yet. Fuku sings a song and everybody tells him that he has a nice voice and that he can become a singer. Nonetheless, Asami knows his future and narrates that he will ditch everything in order to pursue a career in music, but he will fail. That will cause him to do several jobs trying to make money, but Rina will get sick of it and she will divorce him. Asami wonders if she should say something and stop everyone from praying him. However, she also recalls that Fuku will meet another woman and he will have a kid with her. So if she intervenes now, she might change his life's path, which will not necessarily be good for him. With these thoughts in mind, Asami decides to go with the flow and cheers for him. A year later, Asami is trained to work as a pharmacist and she joins a drugstore. She does a good job, but she also notes that most of the clients are in a hurry to get their medicine. Although most of them are impatient, they are still better than the clients she was faced with in the government job during her previous life. Later, Asami enters the train to get back home and sees her former teacher Mita entering as well. She grabs her phone to shoot a video of him because she wants to share it with her friends. Right then, a woman blames the teacher for touching her and a few men convince them to get off the train at the next stop to talk to a policeman. Asami gets out as well and tells the officer that Mita did nothing. She shows everyone the video she shot and it is clearly seen that another man touched this lady. Surprisingly, the man who touched her is Asami's former supervisor at the government job. Mita visits Asami in her house to bring her a gift as a gesture of gratitude. After announcing that his wife is pregnant, he also gives Asami her old Game Boy after so many years. He says he intended to give it to her after class, but he forgot about it. The next day at work, Asami talks about one of her colleagues named Mayaoki. The man is kind of weird. He always arrives first at work, but he never opens the pharmacy store. He waits for Asami to open it up and then he walks in. That evening, Asami meets with her sister, Harula, and they decide to visit their grandparents. She regrets not spending more time with them during her previous lifetime, and she also recalls that her grandpa will die in a year or so. While the girls have a meal with them, Asami takes a look at her grandpa's medicine and suspects that two of these drugs should not be taken together. She asks her grandpa to stop taking them for a while and take the prescriptions to a pharmacy nearby. The pharmacist communicates with a hospital and he confirms that these medicines should not be combined. Asami gets a new prescription for her grandpa and practically saves his life. Another surprise Asami faces is when she reads a magazine and notices that her former boyfriend Tanabe is a successful businessman who makes billions of yen. One night, Asami meets with her friends, Natsuki and Maipon, to grab a bit, but they are also joined by Shur, who sees them and approaches them. While they discuss about their lives, Shur reveals that she is in a relationship with a man. When she shows them a picture of him, Asami realizes that this is Mayaoki from the pharmacy. The problem is that Mayaoki is married. Most probably, Shur has no idea about it. Asami recalls kindergarten and Shur's father, wondering if Shur is bound by fate to be drawn around situations of infidelity. After Shur leaves, the girls go to a karaoke and they find Fuku working there. The young man offers them their first round of drinks for free, and the girls are excited. During Asami's previous lifetime, something similar had happened, but then Fuku had offered them some French fries for free. When they are left alone, Asami tells her friends that Shur's boyfriend is actually married. Asami gets Shur's contact information from Fuku and gives her a call to invite her to the karaoke. Since this is going to be a tense situation, Natsuki pretends to be Shur and Asami rehearses how she will tell her about her married boyfriend. When Shur arrives, Asami tells her the uncomfortable truth. Even though Shur is shocked, she does the right thing and calls Mayaoki to break up with him. The girls clap for Shur and then they go crazy on singing to relieve the tension. Then, the group proceeds to grab some snacks. This is the place where Asami died the previous time, but the truck passes without hitting her, and she celebrates. When the girls are gone, a mysterious woman appears behind them and follows them with her gaze. It seems like she knows something. The next morning, Asami returns to work only to find Mayaoki opening up the drugstore. The man has changed his attitude completely. He is more polite and more eager to work. After work, Asami rides her bike through an alley and stumbles on some people shooting a movie. She is excited to see them, but she neglects looking straight ahead and she is hit by a truck. Asami's soul is taken at the eternal white again, and she can't believe she is so careless to die the same way. After whining for a while, Asami approaches the man and tells him that she died at the age of 33 again. She wonders if her fate is to die at the age of 33 every time. The man explains to her that there is no such thing as fate, but rather a distribution of deaths. But presenting her with a couple of graphs, he states that deaths are distributed to several age groups randomly. On a personal level, the age of death is also distributed randomly. Some people have an equal chance of dying at every age, while other people have a large possibility of dying at a certain age and less possibility of dying at other ages. Asami belongs to the second group and she has a high chance of dying at 33. But that doesn't mean that she is going to die for sure. She just has to be more careful. Asami knows she has to walk through the white door, so she asks the man if she is still going to be reincarnated as a giant anteater. The man shows her a picture and tells her that she is going to live as a fish. Asami wonders if this is an upgrade or not, but the man explains to her that it is just a matter of perception. Souls usually love what they know. Souls that have lived as humans want to be humans again, but souls that have lived as spiders, for example, want to live as spiders again. And the same is true for all other beings, even cockroaches. And here's the kicker, the man announces that Asami can also choose to live the same life again and try to be better. Asami wonders how many times she can redo her life, but the man can't reveal that. He says, however, that it depends on many factors and some souls do not even get a chance to try again. Asami walks through the door and she starts living again for a third time. Regarding Shir's father, she does the same exact thing she did the previous time. This time around though, she feels uncomfortable eating fish, but she finds her father very annoying again. That has not changed. When she faces teacher Mita in class this time, she sets up the argument in a way that enables her to win. Despite her smart arguments, her grades are not as good as her previous lifetime and she fails to study medicine. She still meets Tanabe, who approaches her and invites her to karaoke. She recalls that he has the potential to become a very successful businessman and agrees to go. The two of them grow closer together. They exchange phone numbers and they go on many more dates. One day, Asami realizes that he has started gambling and she makes him promise that he is going to stop. The two of them express their love for one another, but the more they get closer, the more Tanabe becomes irresponsible. It seems like his relationship with Asami affects him for the worse. The two of them break up and Asami moves to Tokyo as an adult. She starts working in a production company as a set assistant producer. She participates in the production of many shows, and the actors love working with her because she helps them stay organized. Sometimes, she visits home to spend time with her family and her friends. All of a sudden, she meets her old friend Gon, who is working as a makeup artist in the same production company. While working on her computer, Asami recalls that teacher Mita is going to have some trouble in the subway because a woman will accuse him of touching her. She doesn't want him to get in trouble because he will also be expecting a child. After a busy day at work, Asami goes to the subway and waits to see which train Mita will board. As she waits, her old friend Rina sees her and they start talking. While they catch up, Asami proclaims that she is waiting for somebody. Rina believes she is dating, but Asami explains that she got it all wrong. When Asami sees teacher Mita, she walks up to him and chats him up. The teacher leaves to get on the train and Asami follows him. Inside the train, Asami is careful to keep him away from women and minimizes the possibility of him being accused. Instead, another man is caught for his poor behavior. Asami also goes to see her family that night because it's her father's birthday and she has bought a present for him. After spending some time with them, Asami returns to Tokyo, and she is soon surprised by Natsuki and Maipon. Apparently, the girls have lifted the entire grocery store and they start throwing a bunch of snacks on the table. The three friends spend the night talking about their lives and catching up. After a fun night, the girls are ready to leave, and Asami returns to work. However, there is something else she has to do. Asami remembers that her grandpa is going to die, so she has to change his prescription. Asami and her sister visit their grandparents, and Asami takes a look at the medicines her grandpa is taking. She asks him to stop taking them for a while until she gets him another combination of drugs. But Haruka asks her how she knows grandpa has to change his pills. Asami carries this knowledge from her previous lifetime, but she just tells the others that she read about these pills someplace. When she goes to a pharmacy to check on the prescriptions, she sees in a magazine that Tanabe has become a successful businessman. However, he has made less money as compared to her previous lifetime. After saving her grandfather's life, Asami returns to work and considers using her life as a script idea. She meets with the screenwriter and the producer and pitches them her idea. It is about a woman who dies and is given the choice to reincarnate as an animal or to relive her life and try to gather good deeds so she can reincarnate as a human. But the woman dies again and she relives a third time. The other professionals like her idea. Asami is proud of herself, but she is also a bit bored because she is now working on a script about her life, which she has already lived 3 times. As she leaves work that day, she also recalls that she has to take care of one more thing. That is her friend Shur and her married boyfriend Mayaoki. Asami visits the karaoke place hoping to find Fuku, but it appears he has a day off. Asami asks his replacement to give her his phone number, but the girl acts professional, saying that she can't give her his number. Asami asks her to give Fuku a call instead, and the girl now helps her out. Asami learns about a place where Shur hangs out, and goes there as soon as the store is opened. After eating a meal and countless desserts, Asami finally sees Shur and immediately speaks to her. After greeting one another, the girls sit at a table to have another meal, this time together. As they receive their order, Mayaoki coincidentally walks into the restaurant to grab a meal himself. Asami hides herself and also tries to hide Shur from him. As she has figured out from the conversation with Shur, she is probably early and Shur is not in a relationship with Mayaoki yet. Nevertheless, it appears that some things can't be changed. Mayaoki sees Shur from his table and takes the liberty to greet her. Shur introduces him to Asami and the man leads them to their meal. Asami wants to take Shur away from there, but her friend exclaims that she needs one more drink. Shur gets up and Asami realizes that Mayaoki's table is empty. When she turns her head around, she sees them exchanging phone numbers. She runs near her friend, but it is already too late. They have exchanged contact information and they have already agreed to meet again. Asami can't really get any sleep that night as she tries to figure out what to do. One thing is for sure though, that she can't leave her friend with that cheater. The next morning, Asami knows that she can find Mayaoki just outside the pharmacy, so she proceeds to enter his car and have a strict talk with him. Asami asks him if he is married, but even if the man intended to lie, she can see his wedding ring. Asami clarifies that Mayaoki is very conscious about what he is doing. Yesterday at the restaurant, she didn't see a ring on him, which means that he removed it in order to talk with Shur and try to get a date with her. Asami threatens him that he will reveal everything to the world if he doesn't stop this. He should not date Shur under any circumstance. With that said, Asami steps out of his car, but before she leaves, she also instructs him to open up the pharmacy when he arrives first. A few days later, Fuku contacts Asami and they grab some coffee together. As it appears, his divorce with Rina has already taken place. He has also found his new girlfriend, who will be pregnant in the near future. His girlfriend is the girl Asami met at the karaoke place. Fuku gives Asami a CD and informs her that he is still trying to make it as a musician, but the real reason of this meeting is that he wants to ask Asami if she has heard of any production needing actors. He knows that she is working as an assistant producer, so maybe she knows something. However, Asami knows that he is not very talented when it comes to performing arts, so she just says that she will let him know. When Asami meets with her female friends again, she tells them about her meeting with Fuku and shows them the CD he gave her. The girls are curious about Fuku's self-made album and they decide to listen to it, but that proves to be an instant regret. They don't like it at all and they also comment that Fuku is not a good singer. In the meantime, Asami's series idea not only has been approved, but the production company is ready to start shooting the first episode. Her idea has changed quite a bit, and it has turned into an action-oriented series. While they shoot the first episode, some of the actors can't make it to the set, which causes a big problem for the production company. Asami takes a look at a list of replacements, but nobody is near enough to make it in time. So, she decides to give Fuku a call and have him as a supporting actor. Fuku does a good job, and Asami honestly considers giving him better opportunities in the future. However, she is kind of embarrassed when she sees Fuku offering the leading actress a music demo. That night Asami walks around holding her phone in her hands and watching some footage of the first episode. She neglects to cross the road carefully and she is hit by a truck again. Asami can't believe this is happening again. She walks to the man and tells him that she died at the age of 29 this time, even though her largest possibility of dying is at the age of 33. The man reminds her that she can die at any age and out of anything. He explained the rules of probabilities the previous time she was around. The man tries to talk to her about her next life and reveals that she is going to be a purple sea urchin. Asami hates the fact that she is going to be eaten by other fish. She also wonders why she is not going to be a human again. She did everything possible to collect good deeds. Then, she asks if she can redo her own life again, and the man informs her that she can. Asami walks through the door and she is born like herself again, but this time around she decides to do things a bit differently. When she sees her preschool teacher getting Sher's father's number, she follows her to the teacher's room and tells her that she doesn't want to see her get hurt. She says she has a friend whose father cheated on her mother with her teacher and everybody got hurt. The teacher was hurt and the girl's family was destroyed. When she hears the little girl talking about all of this, the teacher decides to throw the father's number away. The next day, she keeps her distance from him and makes it clear that nothing is going to happen between the two of them. When she goes to primary school, Asami also takes a different path. She focuses on studying and she becomes a brilliant student, but this also affects the other areas of her life. For example, she is not a close friend of Natsuki and Maipon in this life and she is more lonely in general. One day, she sees the girls playing with the stickers and she recalls how they always used to play together in all of her previous lifetimes. Asami approaches them and asks them if he can sit with them. The girls let her join them and they start exchanging some stickers. Asami has a good time and the girls even walk together when they leave the park. But it becomes apparent that this was just a one-time gig. Her friends continue walking together because they are really close and Asami is not part of that bond. When Asami goes to high school, she gets great grades but she still has no friends. When the karaoke place opens up, she visits it on her own. Another girl named Mari sees her and approaches her. The two of them snap some pictures together and gradually become friends. Mari was not a part of her life in any of the previous timelines Asami lived, but she grows to play a crucial role in this one. Asami becomes the school's president, she joins medical school, and soon attends the graduation ceremony. She sees her former friends walking in front of her and feels melancholic. But that goes away when Mari joins her. After the graduation ceremony, the girls go to the karaoke place with some of the other students. There, Mari hears Fuku singing and has a talk with Asami about him. She wonders if they should talk to him and prevent him from dropping everything to chase a music career. Mari believes that he is not very talented, but everybody is cheering for him because they are his friends. On the other hand, Asami knows that he is going to have a child after divorcing Rina, because his music career will destroy their relationship. So she tells Mari to stand down and let him do whatever he likes. As she leaves the karaoke place, she sees Fuku and Rina exchanging contact information, which means that their lives are unfolding as usual during this lifetime. As an adult, Asami lives in Tokyo again, but this time she has become a medical researcher. In fact, she is working on developing cures for the hardest diseases out there. One evening she goes to the subway and recalls that this is the day when teacher Mita will be accused of harassment. At the same time, she is approached by Rina, who tells her that her relationship with Fuku is not going well. Since she already knows their future, Asami advises her to get a divorce if things are not working out. Then, she sees teacher Mita and tries to stop him from entering the next train in order to change his life's course and save him from being accused of harassment. Asami convinces him to go get a drink with his former students. Since he is older and more experienced, Rina opens up about her relationship with Fuku and proclaims that she is at a dead end. The teacher tells her to have an open talk with her husband and let him know about what he needs. Getting a divorce should not be their first option, but if they are not right for each other, they should get divorced. Asami knows that his advice is not going to affect the future, so she continues her missions. She rides the train back home and visits her parents. The next day, her sister drives her to their grandparents because Asami has to change her grandpa's pills. On their way, Haruka says that she has met somebody and she is thinking of introducing him to their parents. Asami is happy for her sister and thinks about how fast time passes. At their grandparents' place, Asami can easily convince her grandpa to change his prescriptions because she is a medical scientist and she knows what she is doing. Before she returns to Tokyo, she has one more mission to complete. She recalls that Mayaoki will hit on Sure, but Asami barges into his car before that incident takes place. She tells him that she knows about her plans and discourages the man from flirting with her friend. Back in Tokyo, Asami works in the lab every day. While she conducts several experiments, she can't help but think about her previous lives. She did what she could, but she wonders if she could do more to help others. In any case, this time is different. If she is able to find cures for diseases, she will be able to help millions of people. Not only that will help her collect good deeds, but she also finds a sense of meaning in this. When she visits her family again, her father is worried about meeting Haruka's boyfriend and potential future husband. Asami advises him to wear a suit and just be his best self. When Haruka's boyfriend named Kenji visits, he helps Haruka around the house and builds a great relationship with everyone. The father is still nervous when Kenji leaves, but he seems like a nice guy. Asami keeps working hard and she is close to developing a cure against some types of bacteria. Soon though, she will have to take a break because her sister is getting married. As their father brings her sister to the church, Asami contemplates on Haruka's life and how she's watched her grow as a human being. A few days later, Asami meets with her old friend Mari. Does this woman remind you of somebody? She is the same woman who was watching over Asami during her first redoing of her life. While the two of them discuss, they also see Natsuki and Maipon. Asami is glad to see them and she is happy they are doing well. As the girls sit outside, Mari shows Asami some of the pictures they had taken when they were teens. As Asami looks at those pictures, Mari asks her what round of life she is going through right now. Asami is shocked by the question, but Mari explains that she is also reliving her life. More specifically, it is her 5th round of redoing her life. This means that Asami is not the only one going through this process. She wonders how Mari was able to figure out that she is reliving her life. So the woman explains that she started suspecting it when the two of them started hanging out. Asami was too clever and knew too much about life in general, which would be impossible for a normal kid of their age. Mari also reveals that the last time she went to the Eternal White, the man told her she was going to become an ant. But the problem with ants is that they get frequently eaten by some creatures named giant anteaters. But here's where it gets weirder. Mari has lived 2 more lives as compared to Asami, and somehow it's like 2 more multiverses have been created. During her previous lifetime, Mari recalls being friends with Asami, Natsuki, and Maipon. The 4 of them were a gang and played with their stickers together. They continued their friendship through their teens and even when they entered university. In other words, Mari was a part of the group and she participated in everything Asami and her friends did. Asami has these same memories, but Mari is not present in them. Mari also had a relationship with Fuku at some point, but there was a problem. Mari recalls when her friends called her in the karaoke place, and Asami told her that Fuku was married to Rina. Mari pulled her phone out and called Fuku to break up with him. A similar incident had happened in Asami's timeline, when she called her friend Shir to inform her that Maoki had a wife. In addition, Mari recalls that her friend brought a surprise birthday cake for her at a coffee shop. Asami has this same memory, but it is a bit different. This had happened the first time she lived, and it was Natsuki and herself who brought a birthday cake for Maipon. Mari was not a member of their group. The 2 friends continue their discussion elsewhere, and Mari now reveals that she is a pilot. She also recalls that she suspected Asami was living multiple lifetimes 2 lives ago, but she was not certain about it. Mari watched her with her friends and it felt like something was off, but she could not confirm it. Furthermore, Mari says that the man in the white room showed her a graph depicting her probability of dying by age. Her maximum probability of dying is between the decade of 30 years old to 40 years old. The 2 friends part ways, and they go about their lives for the next couple of days. However, Asami reads the news and is informed about a plane crash that took place. She wonders if Mari is alright and she tries to call her, but she gets no answer. Unfortunately, Mari was the co-pilot in that flight and she is dead along with the pilot and 180 passengers. Asami attends her funeral along with Fuku and Gon, but she is not extremely devastated because she knows her friend has gotten the chance to live multiple times. And who knows, maybe she gets the chance to live again. Asami returns to Tokyo to continue her research, but another surprise awaits her. As she wants outside, she is greeted by a woman named Kawaguchi. The woman recognizes her, but she should not be able to know her normally. The 2 of them know each other from the government job Asami worked during her first lifetime. However, this woman is also reliving her own life. Actually, she is living for the 8th time, which is a lot. The next morning, Asami heads to work as usual, but she is killed while walking under a construction site. This time Asami is calm and she approaches the man in the white room to ask about her next life. The man tells her that she is eventually going to reincarnate as a human, which is good news. Asami starts walking towards the appropriate door, but she stops and goes back to the man, asking him if she can relive her own life. The man replies that she can, but also warns her that this is the last time she can do it. Asami believes that she is not done with her life, so she decides to go back one more time. Asami is born as a baby again, and she remains patient as she grows up. One day at school, she walks by Mari and signals her the number of lives she has lived. Mari signals her own number, so they both know that they have memories. When the girls sit down to talk, they agree to have a common course during this lifetime. They want to become pilots and fly the plane that crashed during their previous lifetimes. Most probably, the same incident is going to take place again. Mari recalls that when this happened, she was the co-pilot to a man named Nakamura. Mr. Nakamura was only flying so he would not have his license taken because there was a rule at the airport stating that a pilot needs to have at least one flight per year. In a different scenario, they will have their license revoked. While the girls discuss, Asami emphasizes that during this lifetime she wants to focus on what matters. She knows that this is going to be her last life as Asami, so she doesn't want to be away from her friends. At the same time though, she wants to do something meaningful with her life and do enough good deeds to reincarnate as a different human the next time. The girls set their minds to the goal of saving the 180 people, and they start training hard from an early age. In addition to that, they study hard, but they do not neglect to befriend Natsuki and Maipon. After school, they see the girls sitting on a bench and playing with their stickers, so Asami and Mari ask if they can join them. When they sit with the girls, Asami recalls that she was always a good trader of stickers. She always managed to convince the girls to trade the stickers she wanted. Of course, she had an unfair advantage because she was much more clever than them, both emotionally and mentally. But this time things are different. Asami allows the girls to tell her which stickers they like, and she gives them the ones they want. Soon, the girls join high school and they receive their degrees. Asami is happy to see she is doing well, and she also checks with her friend Mari to see how she is doing. Both of them have good grades, which means that they are on the right track for now. The years go by and the two friends receive their university degrees. They join the rest of their old friends at the karaoke place, but this time they are not just sitting there, listening to the other people sing. They sing with them and enjoy themselves. They also don't worry about telling Fuku that he is a bad singer. Maybe life is too short for worries and we all need to do whatever we love doing. The girls join aviation school soon and they excel at everything they do, including advanced math, balance exercises, and simulation flights. A flashback shows us that Mari had used her existing knowledge to build her own flying simulator. She helped Asami to learn how to use it, which made the whole process easier for her. She also explained to her that they were going to have to pass an interview with a committee. Mari even drew the members of the committee for her and told her about valuable information she can use to appeal to them. Finally, the day comes when the girls are ready to become pilots. Asami has been training her entire life for this moment, and now it is finally time for her first test flight. Her test flight goes great, and we now see her entering the airport with Mari, wearing their pilot costumes. The two women have not yet performed their first flight, but it is going to take place soon. However, when Asami and Mari go home, Asami has a hard time getting some rest. Reason for that is because she recalls that during her previous lifetime as a medical researcher, she was about to create a cure against some harmful bacteria. During this lifetime though, she was so absorbed into her new goals that she totally forgot about the cure. But coming up with that cure can save even more people, way more than the 180 people she is going to save with the plane. But Asami knows that she does not have the tools to work on the cure. She also does not have the time. Despite these limitations, maybe she could give her old colleague from the lab some instructions and assist her in creating the cure. Asami recalls the place where she and her old colleague, Tae, used to eat. She visits that same cafeteria and waits for Tae to appear. When she does, Asami rehearses mentally how to go and talk to her. She tries different approaches in her mind, but what will work best for her is the direct way. When Tae is left alone in the table, Asami approaches her and says that she has been a fan of her. She has read about her and she is doing great work. The woman has no idea that any magazine has written anything about her, but Asami continues her fairy tale. She tells the woman that she has been doing her own research and drops some hints for her that will enable her to think about her research in a new way, a fact that will lead to her discovering the cure. Right next, Asami meets with Mari. While they walk, they stumble on Fuku singing down the street. The two of them hang out with him and Fuku tells them that he is still struggling to make it as a musician. The girls still do not like his vocal abilities, but they cheer for him because they like how he enjoys himself and goes after what he loves. Eventually though, Fuku has to pack his guitar and go because he is annoying the area's residents. Soon, Asami's sister gets married again while the date of the death flight is approaching. Mari and Asami have to deal with a problem because Nakamura is assigned to be the pilot of that flight. At the same time, two more occurrences take place in the airport. First, Kawaguchi signs into the airport and she is dressed like an air hostess. Second, a mysterious man is watching over Asami and Mari. Later, Asami and Mari grab a bite together and they are very happy to see their friends, Natsuki and Maipon. Their friends sit at the same table and they all enjoy their time together. The next day, the girls ask if there has been any change, but Nakamura is still the pilot of the flight. Asami and Mari try to figure out what to do, so Asami decides to go talk to Nakamura. She tells the older pilot that she has invited her friends over because she thought this flight would be her first. Her friends have paid for tickets and they are going to board the plane, so she should be the pilot. Nakamura says that he would like to help, but he should be on this flight or else his license will be revoked. That night, the girls try to come up with a new plan, and they conclude that their only chance is to drug Nakamura. The next day, they pour a substance into his coffee that sends the man directly to the bathroom. Soon, Asami meets with Kawaguchi accidentally. The woman informs her that she is a flight attendant and they are going to fly together. Asami is very happy because Kawaguchi also tells her that Nakamura has gotten sick and he is not going to be able to fly, which means that Asami will replace him. While the pilots head toward their flight, the mysterious man intercepts them and tells them that he is a time traveler. He knows that this is going to sound crazy, but this plane is going to crash, so he asks them to change their destination and take the plane elsewhere. The man has no idea how to convince them, but the pilots tell him that this is their plan as well. In conclusion, the man is reliving his life for a second time, just like them. When it's time for the flight, the pilots do what they have to do and they change their route, not their destination. While they fly, they see some pieces of comets falling onto Earth, which was the initial cause of the plane's crash. Asami and Mari meet with their friends, and they have a great time together. They continue being close and they even visit the karaoke place for a reunion with all of their old friends. Fuku has now become the manager. The years go by and Asami with Mari have managed to stay alive. The four female friends become old ladies, and they remain friends to this day. The series ends with the four of them trying to recall the title of a song.